Hi dear children, welcome to English class. Hope you all are safe and fine. So do you remember the story which we have studied in the previous class? Half of the portions we have completed, isn't it? So today we are going to see what happened after that. So before that I will revise once again. The story was there was a long time ago in a village. That village had poor harvest. That time 3 travelers came to the village. They had nothing to eat. Then they went and asked to each house something for eating, but they didn't get. They told that there is nothing for them to eat. So what happened? Let's see. The travelers were very sad. Then but they made a plan, but because they are very hungry and they are tired, isn't it? So they made a plan. They need something to eat, so they arranged. So what they did, the first traveler went and pulled out a huge pot from their cart. They came by cart, isn't it? They kept all the things necessary for them. Everything is there in their cart. So the first traveler pulled out a huge pot from the cart. You know what is a pot? For cooking something we use pot, isn't it? So the first traveler pulled out a huge pot from their cart. Then the second traveler, there were 3 travelers. So the first one pulled out a huge pot from the cart, and the second one filled it with water. So you know, for making the soup we need water, isn't it? So you had soup. It is very tasty, creamy, isn't it? So the second traveler filled it with water and lit fire under the pot. So you know, for cooking we need fire. So the second traveler filled with water and lit fire. Then what happened? What did the third traveler do? Then he took a stone out of his bag and dropped in the pot. So you know, do you remember what is the name of our story? Yes, stone soup, isn't it? So the travelers are going to make stone soup. For that they pulled out a huge pot from their cart. Then the second one filled it with water and put fire under the pot. Then the third one took a stone from their bag and put inside the pot. Then what happened? See, all the villagers, by the time all the villagers came out, they want to see what they are going to do. So by now most of the villagers had come to watch what is happening there. Then these travelers started to stirring the water and stone with a spoon. You know what is stirring? Yeah, we for mixing something with a spoon, that's called stirring. So the travelers started to stirring the water and the stone. Then he took something from the pot and tasted. Then told it is very tasty. You know, when our parents, mummy is cooking, mummy will take out something from the pot and taste it, whether it is salty or whether it is tasty, isn't it? Like that the travelers also did like that. Then he said it is tasty, but if some carrots were added it would be more tastier. Then what happened? The villagers were watching, isn't it? They were watching what they are doing. So one of the village lady went and took some carrot from their house and put inside gave it to the travelers. Then they put the carrot in the pot. Then after that he said, yes, it is wonderful, it is very tasty, very yummy. Then he told, I once had a soup with salt and spices. Then the traveler told, once I had soup, but that soup had salt and spices. By hearing this word, again the villagers went to their home and brought some spices and salt. Then the second traveler added that salt and spices into the pot. Then by the time one after the another, one by one went to their home and brought potatoes, onions, peas, everything for making the soup. So by the time the travelers got enough materials or enough things for making the soup, and they made the soup. They made a very tasty soup and served it to all the villagers. This is the story, the stone soup. So shall we read once again? I hope you understood the story. Again I will explain it during our live class. Okay, so let us read. The travelers were sad. The travelers were sad. Why they were sad? Because they had nothing to eat. They were very hungry. They were tired. But they made a plan to arrange for some food. But they made a plan. Anyway, they have to eat something. So they made a plan. The first traveler pulled out a huge pot from their cart. They came by cart, isn't it? So they went and pulled out a huge pot from the cart. Then the second traveler filled it with water. Second one went and brought some water and filled the pot. Then he lit a fire, put fire. Then the third traveler took a stone out of his bag and dropped it in the pot. Then the third traveler took a stone from his bag and put inside the water. Then what happened? By that time, most of the villagers had come to watch what the three travelers were doing. They didn't give anything to the travelers, isn't it? So they were very eager to see what is going to happen. So all the villagers came out and they were watching. The travelers stirred the water and took some of it in a spoon to taste. They were stirring with a spoon and took something from the pot and tasted. Then they said, "The stone soup tastes good." They made soup with the stone. Then they said, "It is very tasty. It would be nice if we had some carrots. If we had some carrots, it would be more tasty," said the first traveler. Then a villager went and came back with some carrot. By hearing this traveler's words, one of the villager went to his home and brought some carrots. He poured those into the pot. Then he put into the pot. "Wonderful! It is tastier now." Yeah, it is tastier. "I once had a stone soup with salt and spices." Then he said, once I had stone soup, but that stone soup had salt and spices. It was very tasty, said the second traveler. Then the second traveler told, once I had stone soup, but that stone soup had spices and salt. Another villager added some salt and spices to the soup. Then another villager went home and brought some spices and salt to the soup. This went on for some time. So like that, one by one going to their home and bringing something. One after another, one by one, the villagers added potatoes, onions, cabbage, mushrooms and so on. All the materials required for making the soup they brought. Soon there was enough soup for the entire village. So by that time, the sufficient amount of soup they made for all the villagers. Everybody enjoyed the soup. They served to all the villagers. Everybody enjoyed the soup. It was the tastiest soup they ever had. That time the travelers made some soup, and that was the tastiest soup they ever made. They thanked the travelers. They all thanked the travelers. They all were happy. So this is the story, stone soup. Hope you understood the story. Okay. So here you can see the travelers are serving soup to the villagers and they were enjoying the soup. So the new words. Dropped means having fun. The traveler dropped stone, isn't it? Then stirred, move a spoon in order to mix it thoroughly. So they were stirring with the spoon. Then enough, as many as required. That means sufficient, enough soup for the villagers. So these three words you have to write and study. You have to write in your notebook. Okay, those three words you have to write in your notebook, and also you have to read the story. This is the homework for you. So thank you dear children. We will see you in the next class.